Out here, the wild doesn't care if you're ready. It doesn't wait. The cold bites a little sharper at this elevation. Every breath feels thinner. In the wild, you're far from paved roads, warm homes, or the hum of everyday life. Among these forests, where trees stand as silent sentinels and the wind weaves through the branches, you can feel it, the raw, untamed energy of this place. The wilderness is remote, indifferent, and wild. It strips you down, revealing if you've truly come prepared to meet it on its terms. Every moment here is a challenge, a test of preparation, resilience, and your connection to something far older and more powerful than yourself. I'm venturing deep in the Colorado backcountry to spend a night alone in the cold, rugged beauty of these mountains. The terrain is rocky, the air is biting, the isolation is absolute. Let's see if I'm ready for what lies ahead.
There's really no other way to describe this place. It's just raw. But it's not just the beauty, it's the energy that's out here. It feels alive in a way that's hard to put into words. Every gust of wind, every crack of the branch, it all feels like it's just part of something ancient, like it's been here forever. I'll be honest, I'm a little bit nervous. These windy conditions add a whole new layer of challenge that I've never experienced before. There's a quality to the cold out here that's hard to describe. It's really heavy and it presses against you. It reminds you that you're just a visitor here. And it's humbling, no matter how much you prepare for it, it's just always here to test you. There's always this little voice in the back of my head that's like, what if? What if you just forgot something at home? What if the fire doesn't catch? It's not fear exactly, but respect. Out here, you respect the wild, or you don't come back the same. Okay, I think I'm gonna make my hammock in between these two trees right here.
As the sun sinks below the horizon, the air turns sharp, and the wind picks up. It carries a warning with it. Time is slipping away, and if I don't get camp up soon, the cold will take over.
Well, I got the hammock set up, but these winds are really picking up. It's going to be really important for me to put the tarp up and secure everything down so it doesn't blow away. Luckily, I'm sheltered behind this rock and this little tree line, but the wind is still ripping through this little corridor here, so I'm going to have to really watch out for that. This is what I'm gonna use to keep myself warm tonight. This is the Hammock Gear Burrow, and this is rated for 20 degrees Fahrenheit. It's supposed to drop to like 25 degrees, which is a bit warmer than last time, but this should be pretty comfortable. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna zip this open and toss that in here so it doesn't blow around, and then zip it back up. And on the bottom, this is my 30-degree Hammock Gear underquilt. It's a full-length underquilt. This is all made with goose down. And what we do is we clip it to the bottom here, and it prevents the heat loss from the bottom of the hammock.
With the sunset fading fast, the winds begin to pick up. This turns the task of setting up my tarp into a real challenge. As darkness creeps in, it forces me to rely on my lantern to see. The gusts are relentless, causing even more difficulty as I secure the tarp with my strongest knots. Each one a lifeline against the wind's fury. Will they hold? Will they be strong enough to keep me safe through the night?
Well, that seemed like it took forever, but I finally secured all four sides of my tarp down into a bunch of rocks, branches, stakes, into the snow, however I could. The knot that I used was actually a combination of like two different knots. It was the alpine butterfly, and then I did a trucker's hitch through the alpine butterfly, and then I did two loops, so it's an auto-locking alpine butterfly trucker's hitch, which in this kind of wind is something that you need because it's just blowing this thing everywhere. I had to wedge this. The auto-locking alpine butterfly trucker's hitch is something that you need in these conditions because the wind's just blowing this thing everywhere. If I don't batten down the hatches as much as I can, it's just gonna get way too cold in here. I learned that from last time. So now that I got the tarp secured, let's make a fire.
Every attempt at building a fire is met with failure. The wind howls, snuffing out each spark before it has a chance to catch. The conditions are far from ideal, and each failed attempt makes me feel even more desperate. I can feel the cold creeping in, and I'm left wondering if I'll be able to make a fire tonight.
Oh, I'm so glad I didn't give up. It's coming. Whew, smoke right in my face. Yes. And I almost gave up. Never give up. Well, the wind's died down. I got this fire going nice and strong. I almost gave up on this. I almost didn't have a fire, but it just goes to show you, never give up. Setting up camp is one of my favorite parts. There's something really calming about the routine, about finding rhythm in tasks that might seem simple or repetitive. But the more you do it, the more natural it feels. It starts to become second nature. It's almost meditative, like tying a knot or unpacking the gear. It's almost like a sanctuary, a little bubble safety of comfort out here in the woods. And out here, this little bubble makes all the difference. Fire's more than just comfort out here. It's how you stay warm, how you stay safe. When you're this far out, you don't take chances. The days are extremely short in winter. The sun's already low, and before you know it, it's pitch black and the cold hits even harder. A good fire like this can make all the difference. It's freezing. It's gonna be dropping down to 25 degrees tonight. Well, this is about as big as I want the fire to be. I think I'm gonna go make something to eat now. Starving after all that work. I'm just gonna boil some water with this MSR Whisper Light wind burner. This does extremely well in the wind. Gonna boil some water, and then tonight we're gonna have some chicken tikka masala by Mountain House. Oh, it went out. Well, that wasn't supposed to go out. Oh, good, it's on. Perfect, have a boil. Time to turn this off. And this time I brought my trusty spoon. Can actually enjoy this. We'll let this cook, seal this up. Give it a little shake. While I'm at it, I'm gonna make some apple cider. That looks amazing. I'm really looking forward to this apple cider. It's getting really cold out here. Oh, that's so good. Between this warm, cozy fire and this hot apple cider and my nice, secure tarp, I'm gonna be really cozy tonight. I'm definitely gonna need it with all this wind. Let's dig into the Mountain House chicken tikka masala. I think it's about ready. Whew. That looks so good. It's been quite a while since I've had some food, so this is gonna taste really good. Okay, it's not bad. It's not bad. It's not the best chicken tikka masala that I've had. I am a very big connoisseur of Indian food. This is not the best chicken tikka masala, but out here, I will definitely take it. I'll tell you what, last time I forgot my spoon, it's a lot easier to eat these bag meals with a long spoon. The world just feels so far away from me right now. It's just me, the fire, and the cold air settling around me. This kind of solitude is rare, and it just has this way of cutting through the noise. And you can really feel the weight of it. Not in a heavy way, but in a sort of grounding way. There's nothing to hide behind out here. No walls to separate you from what's real. It's just life in its simplest, rawest form. And I think that's what makes all of this so pure and meaningful for me. The temperature's dropping really fast, the wind's picking up, and I think I'm gonna crawl into the hammock and start to warm up. I just don't wanna freeze out here. I'm gonna make sure this fire is nice and out, and then head to bed and warm up. I'm really looking forward to that down. Time to hang this up. Whew. I'm really glad that I battened down my tarp as tight as I possibly could, because this wind is really accelerating right now. I'm using every single stake, every single tie out that I have to just make as narrow of a shelter as I can. It's actually quite nice in here. It's blocking a lot of the wind that's bouncing back and forth here. I don't know what it is about Colorado, but Colorado is definitely windy in the winter. I have no idea what it is about Colorado, but in the winter, it's more like Wyoming. It's super windy. Every single time I've been out, it's been super windy, so maybe that's just how it is in the mountains. I'm definitely gonna crawl in here, get some shut-eye, start to warm up. I'm nice and tucked in. I just dropped my camera in the snow. Luckily it's fine. Hope it holds out for tomorrow. It's really windy, but I'm really glad that I tightened everything down. Crawling into this hammock at the end of the day, it just feels like a sanctuary, especially with how windy it is. The night has this way of putting things into perspective. Under the sky, everything just feels so infinite and close, like you're the part of something bigger. It's humbling, but also comforting. I live for these moments out here. I used to get really restless in this kind of stillness and wind. Now I almost kind of crave it. The worries, the deadlines, the doubts, they don't seem to matter under a sky like this. Even in the quiet and the darkness, under these starry skies, there's so much light to be found. I think I'm gonna get some sleep, what little sleep I can. It's pretty loud.
Beneath the stars, the night felt infinite. The wind wove through the branches, whispering a challenge I couldn't ignore. My camp stood firm against the gusts, a reminder of how small I am in the face of nature's power. The moon hung steady, casting its magical light on the wild around me. It was in this stillness that I realized something. Fear is only as strong as the hold we give it. The outdoors isn't a place to fear, it's a place to release your fear. As the first glow of sunrise touched the mountains, the world transformed. The golden light revealed not just the beauty of the landscape, but a deeper truth. When you let go of fear, the wild becomes a space to grow, to reflect, and to truly live.
Well, it was another absolutely crazy windy night last night. It was like these freight trains were just slamming into my tarp. All my knots came loose. I went out to retie them. They lasted for like an hour, but with this constant wind, it's relentless. Even with my strongest knots, everything ended up moving after a while because of how strong it is. It's like 60 to 50 mile an hour winds that are out here that are just slamming into the tarp. And it just feels like someone's like pushing you. And with that much power, it's just inevitable that some of the knots are gonna come undone. It literally feels like someone's just pushing you. That's how strong these winds are. And it's super cold. It's like 25 degrees out here, super dry. The wind chill is probably much colder than that. The wind chill conditions here are so bad this morning that I think I'm just gonna get packed up and get headed down the road. There's a storm on its way soon, and tonight this area is gonna get dropped with a bunch of snow. It's gonna get really windy, even more windy and cold than it is now. So I think I'm gonna head down the road before any of that happens. I was testing some new gear this trip. This is my 40 below water bottle, and it has this neoprene sleeve that's designed to keep the water bottle in here from freezing. And you can actually pour hot water in this, put it in here, and it will last all night. It's just now starting to freeze, but this did really well compared to just a regular 1 liter smart water bottle where it has no protection. This has a lot more protection, and you can pour hot liquids directly in here. I highly recommend this 40 below water bottle.
The night fades, and with it, the weight of the unknown, something beyond what the eye can see, yet impossible to ignore. This place doesn't ask for control or certainty. It teaches surrender, the kind that frees you to move with its rhythm, rather than against it. As the light begins to rise, the world softens, revealing a beauty that isn't just seen, but felt. A quiet reminder of what's always been there, waiting to be noticed. Every step forward feels lighter, as if the wind itself carries a part of me now. Not as something left behind, but as something gained. A deeper connection, a quiet strength. The trees, rocks, light, they remain, constant and unmoving, yet their essence lingers, shaping those who take the time to listen. In these moments, clarity unfolds, not with force, but with patience. Nature doesn't demand your attention, it invites you to be present. And in that presence, you find more than the physical world around you. You find yourself.
What's the craziest weather that you've camped in? Let me know down in the comments below and I will engage with you there. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to my channel. It really helps me out a lot. And if you're curious about how I stay warm in temperatures of 14 degrees Fahrenheit, you should check out this next video over here. I'll see you over there.